Here I go again. I'm trying not to cry. So I'm just getting back from the store, and this is just something that I do when I leave and come back. Sometimes I find myself sitting out in my truck for a little while before I go into the house. Um, I don't know why, but I'm learning that a lot of people actually do that. It's not just a me thing. A lot of people actually do that. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. It just kind of brings a little bit of before I go in. But I'm just sitting here thinking about life and how stressful it has been lately. I haven't really gotten a chance to go into depth as far as what I've gone through the, since 2021. I mean, I've gone through a lot throughout my 46 years, but in 2021, that is when a couple of wheels popped off. I mean, it a lot happened at the end of 2021. My son became disabled. He now has multiple disabilities. He was 12 then, he's 17 now. Um and I mean, right now I'm just thinking about, like I said, just life, and thinking about what my next steps are going to be. Financially, I mean, there's multiple components to what I've been trying to work through. Um, Mentally, physically, financially, it's just been a lot. So I tend to take these moments to myself to just woosah. Oh man. I'm ready for a change. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm about to I feel like I'm fighting tears because I'm ready for a change. You know, mm, in high school I became a teen mom. Times were a little bit different from a financial standpoint. I mean, things have just gotten so expensive these days. When I became a teen mom, I still lived at home. Had my daughter my senior year. I had my da- I had my daughter my senior. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. But I tend to. I just. I'm not ready to like cry on camera, so I just had to take a minute. Um, but where was I at? I was talking about having my first child in high school, being a teen parent. Um, Ended up fast forward a little bit today. I have three children, two girls, one boy. My son is my youngest, and he's 17. I think I mentioned that already. He became disabled in 2021. Boy, life been life, and I've, I guess, I mean, I'm no different than anyone else. I've had my mountains and I've had my valleys, and I've hung in there for pretty much everything that has been thrown at me. But this last thing that was thrown at me, baby, it did a number on my mental, it did a number on my confidence, it did a number on just who I thought I was. And I mean, when I tell you life chin checked me, it chin checked me because everything came crashing down. I had to resign from my position in education, and I had been working at my job for almost 8 years. But I'd been working in education for about 15 years. Different. I started out working with children. I was a substitute teacher. I became a para. And then after that, I moved over to a different school corporation where I actually worked at the cabinet level. And then moved here to Indianapolis, still kind of worked in education as a supervisor with the Head Start program, and then moved over to another school corporation where which was where the money was, where I landed another position in cabinet. But I tell you, the money that I made in my hometown at the cabinet level versus the money that I began making in my new city at the cabinet level was like it was definitely a 15 off top. At the start of it, it was like a 15K difference. And then I ended up getting a 10K raise before I left. So of course we're talking about annual income. But when life chin checked me this last time, I had to resign from that position to become my son's full-time caregiver. And I feel like I have been scraping tooth and nail to get out of what feels like sinking sand ever since. It's like, how do you, and now, I mean, I'm only one person, so I am trying to figure out how to care for my son, get him to all of his appointments, keep myself mentally together, and figure out how to make money all in the same while. Try to figure out how to do it all. The type of life that I want and I feel like I need to have to sustain, not just for myself, but for my son. I feel like it's going to cause me to have to pivot and try something different. And this is my something different. And one thing I can say I recognized off top when everything happened in 2021 was after I began to come to grips with what we were going through and realizing that this was about to be the new normal. This was not just him catching a cold and we were just waiting for a virus to pass. No, this right here, this was different. This was going to be around for a while, and it has been around for a while. It ain't going nowhere until the Most High does what he does until he sees fit. This is where I'm sitting. Here I go again. I'm trying not to cry. But so I decided that I have to pivot. Things are going to look different. I have to step outside of my comfort zone and again try something different. This is my different. YouTube is my different. Trying to figure out life and allowing people to see that in real time. This is my different. Where it's going to take me, I don't know. But to start, I feel like I need to show someone what I didn't have at the beginning of all of this. And if it takes off, it takes off. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But if some someone, especially a single mom, especially a single mom, if she comes across my content and she just so happens to be going through something different, because taking care of a child with disabilities is not easy. It's not easy at all. Um, but I want to be that person that she sees, that she can relate to, because I didn't have that. I was literally scouring the internet looking for single mothers that were still living life, making, still able to take care of the needs of the home. Basically, I was looking for Superwoman. I was looking for Superwoman. I was trying to find someone that I could relate to, because I felt like life was over. I really felt like life was over. We sat in the house for a whole year. I began to isolate myself. Um, I began to isolate myself. Um, no, I felt like nobody understood what I was going through. I was carrying my pain and my son's pain all at the same time, even though he just seemed super strong and he wasn't letting anything phase him. I carried his pain for him. Imagine having a 12-year-old and then puberty sets in and he wants to have a sense of belonging. He wants to have a girlfriend. He still has all of these hopes and dreams of wanting to meet the typical teen milestones. And then imagine that they're not going to look like what a typical teen's milestones would normally look like. Imagine getting ready to purchase your first home and having to pull the plug on that because now you're not making the money you were making before. Imagine having a child that was super athletic, played football and basketball, and made honor roll consistently, and had his little friend group to him not really having those friends anymore, and you not really wanting to be around other people and their kids because your kid wasn't the same anymore. Oh man. I mean, that's where I was. That's where we were. That's not where we are today. But we're still working through some things. I know that my life will never look like what it did before. And I don't expect it to, now that I have come into acceptance and I've realized that, I have to stop looking back, because the more I would look back, of course I'm comparing to how things was to how they are now. The more I look back, you I became trapped. And I would tell people that my life felt like I felt like Job. Honestly, felt like I lost everything so fast. I, I couldn't help but think about Job. And that's a lot of where my strength came from too. Because I know some people would give up. They crash. They they just stop trying. Probably even take themselves out. But one thing I knew was that I needed the Most High more now than I ever did before. And I just kept thinking of Job and how he never wavered, he never gave up, he maintained his faith. And that's where I am. That's what I held on to. And when it comes to looking back, I just kept saying, I don't want to be like Lot's wife. I gotta stop. I gotta stop thinking about the past. The past is tearing me up. We gotta move forward and we gotta figure this out. I've been avoiding even remotely talking about what I've been through with my son, especially. Like, I have content in my phone right now where I end up going into this touching on what happened, but I would avoid it just because of this. I didn't want to start crying. But I think that it's necessary, especially if I want to be that woman, that mother, that another mother can, if I want to be that person, that a parent who could possibly be searching the same way I was a few years ago. I have to be raw. I have to be my authentic self. Again, I don't know where this channel is going to take me. I don't I didn't plan for the floodgates to open. But my plan was to create a channel where you just get the chance to see me at 46 rebuilding. The time of me being stagnant is done. Um, things are becoming a little bit easier. It's becoming a little bit easier to live life. It's becoming a little bit easier to date and just move about the country, move about the world. I got our passports. Like, my baby is 17. It requires a little bit extra, but he's in his right mind. It's just sometimes he's in a wheelchair, sometimes he's not. He has a visual impairment. He can see. I'm just so thankful for everything that he still has. Because during this whole time, during these past few years, I've lost family. I I lost family during the pandemic. My cousin, who's the same, we're the same age. We grew up together. She lost one of her sons in a car accident. Then today, I get notification that a family at my son's school just lost their daughter in a car accident. She would have been a junior this year. And it just makes me stop and appreciate how much of my baby, even though at the time it felt like a partial death, I still have my baby. I still have my child. I feel like I'm rambling. I'm going off, but y'all experiencing me in real time. This is me, still trying to figure it out, still fighting, not giving up, faith stronger than ever. And faith stronger than ever. I can recall a time where I was just praying to God, asking for a vision. Give me strategy. I need some direction. I can't make a move without you. And out here I am, feeling a little clearer, feeling like part of my mission is to show up for someone else. Show up for me first, of course. But while I'm showing up for me, who knows who I'm helping? So to that mom or that parent that's out there that that's new to having a child with a disability, it'll get easier. Don't be so stuck on the past that you let the small accomplishments become overlooked. Because if I could rewind time back to the beginning, if it was just written in the book that my son would be disabled at 12, if I could rewind time back to the beginning, I would have moved a lot differently. I would have tried my hardest not to grieve for as long as I did. Because being stuck during that time, it was truly a disservice to my son as well as a disservice to me, because I just really I I mean, but I was lost. I didn't know what to do. But now I feel like lots of progress has been made. Believe it or not, I have been able to go several. I was going to say several. I've been able to go the past 2 years, maybe three, being able to tell my story without crying. So believe it or not, this is pretty much the first time in a while that I have actually cried thinking about and discussing what I've been through. And this is not even the full story. It's not in the full story. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. Y'all didn't see me cry. You know a little bit about what my channel is about, where my heart is, and what I want moving forward as I try to rebuild my life. Again, I don't know where this channel is going to go, but if I'm helping somebody, somebody stumbles across my content and they become a little inspired, a little motivated to keep going, then I've done my job. I've done my job. But my content won't always be like this. You'll get a chance to see me live life, whether like I said in my gardening video, whether I'm in my garden, whether I am in my car, whether I'm vibing on the deck, or completing a DIY project. You're going to be able to. I plan to take you guys along with me, whether me and my son are traveling, show you how we do it. Because there was a time I thought that I was just gonna be stuck. We wouldn't go anywhere, we wouldn't do anything, and we've actually been able to experience some things. I think I was getting ready to say that we just got our passports. I don't know when I'm gonna afford for us to be able to go out of the country, but at least we got our passports. And that's something we're going to make happen. I know he's mentioned something about Ghana, and I wouldn't mind going to Ghana. Um, but yeah, I just want to invite you guys along. And this is also a part of me holding myself accountable too. Um, because I know if I'm not just doing it for me, I'll keep going. I'll keep showing up. But yeah, I know how desperately I searched in the beginning for someone that I could relate to. So I wholeheartedly want to be that for someone else, because there are people out there crashing out on the internet almost every day over their life circumstances and then ultimately taking themselves out. Please don't do that. It gets better. So please don't do that. And if you don't have a relationship with the Most High, I invite you to really consider strengthening that. Because, baby, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to get through this. Not only has he kept me, he's kept my son. And when I tell you, my son's faith, my son's faith is what kept me afloat in the beginning. Woo. He used to always say, and this was, before we came into some truth, we were still using titles. But he said, God got us, God got me. He didn't even really want to have any types of surgeries done for a while because he was like, God, go heal me. Now, don't get me wrong, he has his moments where he felt like he would have thought he would have been healed by now. But one thing I I challenge my son to do is to endure. Endure till the end. We will endure. Okay, let me stop because I will. Mm, I want to start preaching and teaching. We'll be here forever. But I do hope that you guys, whoever is seeing this, I hope that you're inspired. I hope that You continue to fight and you continue to press forward. I pray for you, and we got this. So, till the next one, y'all take care.